Welcome back to Her Story, Black History Month, brought to you by Salty Vixen. This February we're honoring the fierce, the forgotten, and the fearless women who built the foundation, broke the barriers and carried the torch when no one else would. It's 2026, the 100-year milestone since Carter G. Woodson first launched History Week, now celebrated worldwide under the theme, A Century of Black History Commemorations. And today we're shining the light on a woman who didn't just make history, she grabbed it by the throat and refused to let go. Her name is Shirley Chisholm. Let's get one thing straight right from the jump. Shirley Chisholm wasn't just a footnote in history books, she was the thunderclap that shook the foundations of American politics. She is an inspiration for all women out there, myself included, and it is an honor to tell her story. Born Shirley Anita St. Hill on November 30, 1924 in Brooklyn, New York, to immigrant parents from Barbados and Guyana, Shirley grew up in a world that tried to limit her at every turn. Her father worked grueling factory and bakery jobs, her mother sewed and cleaned houses to keep the family going. Money was tight, but pride and purpose were not. At 5 years old, Shirley and her sisters were sent to live with their grandmother in Barbados. For nearly 5 years she attended a strict one-room schoolhouse and helped on the farm. That experience gave her discipline, dignity, and the deep knowing that she was somebody, long before anyone else tried to tell her otherwise. She carried that West Indian accent her whole life, a proud reminder of her roots. Back in Brooklyn, she graduated from girls' high school in 1942, then attended tuition-free Brooklyn College, earning a degree in sociology in 1946. She was already active, debate team, Delta Sigma Theta sorority, Harriet Tubman Society, fighting for Black history in the curriculum and more women in leadership roles. By 1951, she had a master in early childhood education from Teachers College at Columbia University. Education wasn't a job for Shirley Chisholm. It was her calling and her weapon. She started as a teacher's aide in Harlem, directed nurseries in Brownsville and Lower Manhattan, and by 1959 was an educational consultant for New York City's Bureau of Child Welfare. She saw how poverty and discrimination robbed children of their potential, especially Black and immigrant kids, and she refused to accept it. Politics found her through community organizing. She joined the Bedford-Stuyvesant Political League, helped form the Unity Democratic Club, and in 1964 won a seat in the New York State Assembly. For 3 terms she championed unemployment benefits for domestic workers, remedial college programs for disadvantaged students, and an end to literacy tests that suppressed Black votes. They called her Fighting Shirley. She owned the name. In 1968, she ran for Congress in Brooklyn's newly created majority Black 12th District, and won. She became the first Black woman ever elected to the United States Congress. She walked into the Capitol and immediately clashed with the system. Assigned to the Agriculture Committee, a mismatch for her urban district, she fought her way onto education and labor. She helped expand food stamps, create the WIC program, and push for child care and women's rights. She co-founded the Congressional Black Caucus and the National Women's Political Caucus. She said she faced more discrimination as a woman than as a Black person, and she never once backed down. Then came 1972, the moment that changed everything. On January 25, 1972, Shirley Chisholm stood in a Brooklyn church and announced she was running for President of the United States. She became the first Black woman, and the first woman from a major party, to seek the presidency seriously. "I am not the candidate of Black America, although I am Black and proud," she said. "I am not the candidate of the women's movement of this country, although I am a woman and I am equally proud of that. I am the candidate of the people." Her platform was bold: end the Vietnam War, universal health care, child care, anti-poverty programs, women's rights. Her budget was tiny, under $300,000. Her challenges were enormous: racism, sexism, funding shortages, death threats, skepticism from some Black male leaders and some white feminists. She received Secret Service protection in May after credible threats. She entered 12 primaries. She won delegates in North Carolina, California, and elsewhere, 152 delegates total at the Miami Convention, finishing 4th behind George McGovern. She debated her opponents. She inspired young people, women, minorities. She proved the impossible was possible. She didn't win the nomination, but she shattered ceilings that are still falling today. Shirley Chisholm served 7 terms in Congress from 1969 to 1983. She fought for domestic workers' minimum wage, Haitian refugees, native land rights, and an end to apartheid. She opposed the Vietnam War and supported universal health care. She even visited George Wallace in the hospital after his shooting, a move that helped pass protections for domestic workers. She retired in 1983 to care for her second husband, Arthur Hardwick Jr. After Congress, she taught at Mount Holyoke College, lectured nationwide, and co-founded the National Congress of Black Women. She received the Presidential Medal of Freedom posthumously in 2015. Shirley Chisholm passed on January 1, 2005, at age 80. She is buried in Buffalo, New York, with the words Unbought and Unbossed on her headstone. Memorials in her name include Shirley Chisholm State Park in Brooklyn, the city's largest state park, opened in 2019. Schools in Barbados bear her name. A monument is planned for Prospect Park. Her image is on a U.S. Forever stamp. Her story lives in documentaries, books, films, and the careers of every woman of color who has run for office since. In 2026, as we celebrate 100 years of Black History commemorations, Shirley Chisholm reminds us what fierce power looks like. She said, "If they don't give you a seat at the table, bring a folding chair." She didn't just bring a chair. She built her own table and left the door wide open. She showed us that courage isn't loud, it's consistent, it's showing up when the odds are stacked against you. It's refusing to be bought, bossed, or broken. To every woman listening, your voice belongs here, your fight belongs here, your seat belongs here, and if anyone tries to tell you otherwise, tell them Shirley already handled that. That's her story for today. Until next time, stay unbought, stay unbossed, and keep claiming your space. Salty Vixen, out.